Hi, my name is Romi, a good old Welsh name. Late on in the year of 1953, I was home on my first leave from the army. At that time in Merthyr, you could go dancing every night of the week. Now you must understand, dear listener, back then there were no computers, no TVs, no iPods, no MP3 players, and not even a CD player. And a dance hall was a meeting place for youngsters. I was 19 years old. You'd see the same crowd of youngsters at almost all the different venues. The Miners, the Kirkhouse, Mountain Air Youth Club, Cap and Tywith Youth Club, the Drill Hall, all these places had live bands. And we also frequented a hall in Dowlas and the YMCA, where someone played records for us to dance to. Oh yes, we had DJs even in the days of black and white. Sunday night was the monkey parade. Youths walked up one side of the high street and down the other, boys eyeing the girls and vice versa. Groups would stop on corners chatting, or if they were flush, had a few bob, pop into one of the many cafes, all Italian, for a glass of hot Vimto in the winter, or raspberry and ice in the summer. Funny thing is, I don't remember there being any trouble. One night, while I was still on leave, I made my way to the Miners. After a while, seeing a girl I liked the look of, I asked her to dance. Dancing in those days involved holding each other. The foxtrot, the waltz, quick-step, and even when you were bopping, you held hands sometimes. So what I'm saying is, dancing also involved conversation. It was a way of finding out about people, asking questions. Questions like, can I have a dance later on? Or, if you're really keen, can I have the last waltz? And if she said yes to that, then during the last dance, can I take you home? Anyway, back to the Miners. She said yes. And the conversation went something like this. Me. Do you come here often? She. Sometimes. Me. What's your name? She. Juli. Me. What's that short for then? She. Nothing, it's just Juli. Or Juliet, as my mother calls me. Me. Oh. She. Are you in the army? Now be fair. I was as fit as a fiddle from 8 weeks' training. I had a short back and sides haircut, which only a soldier would have. My back was ramrod straight from drill, and my shoes were so shiny you could use them as mirrors. Straightening myself up to my full 5'6", I replied, yes. Then, where do you live, love? Always wise to ask that. Some girls were from outside the borough, or living on some outlying farm. She, top of town, Trevethick Street. Me, oh, can I have the last dance then? She, if you like. So that was how I met my future wife. And as you can tell from my conversation gambits, I must have been very hard to resist. My main recreation up until then had always been swimming. I loved it then and I still enjoy it today. So the following day I went up Gwynfarin Baths, showed off my torso to the locals, did a couple of fancy dives, swam a few fast lengths and left. Now, to get from the baths to my house in Kirhardy Estate, you can, in a roundabout sort of way, go via Trevethick Street. This I did. In fact, whenever I went swimming thereafter, I always returned via Trevethick Street in the hope of seeing Juli. I never did, but luckily we had arranged to meet again for a date. A popular song at that time was, I have often walked on this street before, and continued, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. I sang this to myself while walking down Trevethick Street. Romantic or what? All too soon my leave came to an end. Julie had agreed to write to me, so off I went to Woolwich and from there to Aldershot, where I was to do my toughening up course for the airborne. We have recently celebrated our golden wedding anniversary.